Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of the All Things Football podcast. And today we'll be looking at the return of the Domestic Football League, also looking at all the other action that took place across the weekend as well. So we're going to be focusing on the Premier League and the Championship, and then I'll be bringing along another strange football fact, which we've had so far: a player being moved by means of pork, not money. The Alvin Martin hat-trick against 3 separate keepers. That was West Ham versus Newcastle. And then we'll be looking at Leagues 1 and 2. So where should we start then, Dan? How are we? Good week?
Good week, pal. Yeah, doing really good. Hello, everyone. How exciting is it? Domestic football has returned, which is great. And a lot of action yesterday.
Where do we start? Are we going to go with the obvious? Or?
I don't want to go with the obvious. No, I don't want to go with the obvious. It's too obvious what happened yesterday. But the Premier League returned. Domestic football has returned, which was great. And you know what? We had some really good results yesterday across the. Let's start with the elephant in the room. CR7.
Yep.
He is back.
Cristiano.
And he's back with a brace.
Did what he does best.
He just does what he does. Yeah, he scores goals, and he did that. People are moaning the fact that his first goal was a tap-in, but that's Cristiano Ronaldo. He knows where that ball is going to be. He read the play quite nicely well. You saw that Woodman, it is Woodman, isn't it?
Freddie Woodman, yeah.
Yeah. You saw the save coming. Goal.
It's just... Newcastle fans must have loved it. 0-0 going into half-time. He didn't do much in the first half up until that point, and then bang, 2 minutes added time, half-time, boom, there's that first goal, tap in. And they just probably knew then, here we go.
But fair play to them. They came back into the game. They came back into the game quite nice and quickly, really. Got to 1-1, and then really, I think the class took over. The struggles for Newcastle United are continuing. That just doesn't seem to be, like we said last week, that they just can't seem to buy a win. I know we're talking about Manchester United here, but yeah, Steve Bruce, is the time up?
I saw him and the local press in Newcastle are really, there's loggerheads there at the moment. He's getting flustered because Newcastle released a statement, didn't they, about their transfer policy and the fact they only signed Willock in the summer. And he's feeling the pressure now, I think. So how long is it going to be until Brucey's time to go? It's interesting, isn't it?
It is indeed. He's a man that seemed to steady the ship, but you're right. Not many transfers came in during that window. I'm in a difficult place really with Newcastle United because the fans that I saw only really wanted Joe Willock.
True. They were adamant they had to have him on a permanent from the loan spell he had last season. Yeah.
I saw no other names. You know what it's like with clubs around the country. You see plenty of names being spouted around, blah blah blah.
I didn't hear it. Newcastle weren't really linked to many others apart from Willock, were they?
Exactly, and that's the transfer we wanted. Like, don't get me wrong, I saw a rumour yesterday that West Bromwich Albion were going to sign Ross Barkley.
I'd read that as well. That article was just,
do you see what I mean?
Saw the wage figure and it was like, not going to happen.
Exactly that, and you kind of look at it and go, at least there's a name. Something was looked at, but for Newcastle, it was just it was Willock. That was the only one that came along, and lo and behold, they are really struggling. The second bottom of the league at the minute, without a chance of a prayer at present.
Looking good for Newcastle. Where are we? So 19th. 4 play, no wins. They just cannot get a win at the moment. And then you go away to a rejuvenated Man United as well. It's always going to be tough.
That was a different United yesterday, wasn't it? That was a Manchester United that I have not seen in a very long time. Old Trafford was absolutely rocking yesterday. As you know, we watch football quite often, and you see Man United, and they tell you don't really hear that much atmosphere, unfortunately, from Old Trafford. But yesterday, it was absolutely bouncing. The players were on it, that they knew what they were doing. Can Manchester United win the league?
It's an interesting one. I mean, they've got the attacking intent. They've obviously sorted themselves out at the back a little bit more with Varane signing. He seemed to have a good game yesterday because he made his debut, didn't he?
Nearly took the headlines, didn't he, away from Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. Early chance, just went wide yesterday. But yeah, I honestly think Manchester United fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you are going to be definitely up there. Was it the first episode
First episode, we were sort of
Chelsea,
okay. Let's
Manchester
see how we
United,
go.
yeah,
But
Chelsea, Man City, weren't we?
play.
They're up there, second and third.
Both played 4, both won 3, drawn a game. It's, I mean, like we've said in the past 2 episodes, let's wait till we get to the 10 game mark. But early form's looking good for both of them, definitely. And City as well.
The table's kind of getting to that as you were kind of feel at the minute. Chelsea, fantastic last night. It was great to see Lukaku finally get his goal at Stamford Bridge. I've got fond memories of Lukaku down at the Hawthorns. I'd like to feel that we helped develop his career to where it went to. But they were fantastic yesterday. Aston Villa.
Yeah, tough to go to Chelsea and get anything though, isn't it?
Absolutely, but I've not seen too much excitement from Aston Villa this season.
I mean, let's go to Villa. 12th in the league, 4 games played, a win, draw and a loss. 2 losses, sorry.
But like we mentioned, it's far too early in the season. They've had a very transitional summer, losing Jack Grealish, but they've brought in some quality. They have brought in some quality.
Takes time to gel as well.
Definitely, and we're seeing that across all the leagues. There's teams that you think, you're not doing too great, but you've brought in so many players, but you've just not got the ground up and running as of yet. I do expect Villa to stay up. Same with Wolves. Wolves picked up their victory yesterday away at Watford. I see
a
Wolves,
vital first win.
Yeah, I see that Midland contingent remaining in the bottom 3, but they were bottom.
Yes, they were rock bottom.
They were rock bottom.
They had to get that win, just to, you need that confidence boost, don't you, when you're not having the best start to a season? And they, at least they have got that now.
They got that now.
Fans.
Arsenal got the win yesterday as a relegation 6-pointer against
out of the 2
Norwich.
clubs, though, Arsenal had to get that win sooner or later.
They did, and like anything with the season, Norwich will get a win at some point. Arsenal did pick up the I weren't convinced. When
things aren't looking great, when confidence is at an all-time low, as long as you get that win, that's what matters.
That's what matters. And we said that, didn't we? We've said that for the last 2 episodes. Possession, on one of these, that possession looks like a great stat, but you know what?
Yeah, doesn't mean anything on paper.
It doesn't mean nothing.
Really?
No, it doesn't mean nothing. It's about scoring goals. And Arsenal, with that famous 1-0 to the Arsenal, they got the points on the board yesterday. Mikel Arteta, is he still under pressure? We feel. We'll see after.
Maybe a tiny bit's been taken off him with that win, but we'll see.
Definitely, I'm seeing.
Still got to prove himself.
Starting to see some managers being linked now. Graham Potter, I've seen linked. Eddie Howe, obviously. Brendan Rodgers. I saw yesterday. And there's also a foreign manager that's been linked as well.
Is Allegri in there? Has he been thrown up?
No, not seen him. No, definitely not. I've not seen him. But Arsenal 16th now. You've got a bit of breathing space. You've got that 3 points off the board. I think it's just a case of building on that. They should be this season. Was it no European football? Just Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup to go for.
Yeah, there's a few competitions for them to play for. I mean, sorry, Arsenal fans, if we're being realistic, from my point of view, Premier League's way out of reach. You've got a lot of rebuilding in the league, but you never know with the Cup. I mean, you only won the FA Cup was it 2 seasons ago with Arteta? So there's still plenty to play for cup competitions, but Premier League, you've got to 4 games in, you can't read anything. But
no,
that win was very vital, especially to ease a tiny bit of pressure off Arteta as well. Definitely,
and I think Arsenal, they had that nice run. I think when we said on the first episode, they've got Burnley next. Who have they got after that? Burnley.
Never a nice. I wouldn't say Burnley's a nice place to.
Definitely not. It's at Turf Moor, and it's new. It's the new. Can you come to the old saying? Can you do it at Stoke on a cold Wednesday night? It's now Burnley on a cold Wednesday night. But they're off to Burnley next, and then it's the big one in the league. It's Arsenal Tottenham.
It's going to be very interesting. And then go on, sorry.
Go on, no, carry on. I know exactly where you're going.
Speaking of Tottenham Hotspur, massive defeat to another London rival in Crystal Palace yesterday. 3-0 Crystal Palace win there.
It was a game that, once that sending off happened, changed. It had 0-0 written all over it. There was a fair few chances from what I've seen. Crystal Palace were on the attack. Conor Gallagher, he should have had a good couple of goals yesterday, but it had 0-0 written all over it, and then a red card, which was it a red card? Was it a red card? I think it was the right decision for the booking between himself and Zaha Tanganga.
So it says he collected 2 yellow cards in the space of 5 minutes. What was the actual sending off for? What did the referee give it for?
It was a soft challenge. I don't deem it as a yellow card, but you know what it's like, and we've spoken about this in the past. If you get a booking close together within a space of 5 minutes, the referee's all over you.
Absolutely.
You're hot-headed. He thinks that you're hot-headed, and the best thing to do is to remove you from the game. And I just felt the second bookable offence probably just warranted a free kick, not a yellow card.
Maybe a little warning. One more, another incident, then you'll be off.
Absolutely. But yeah, as soon as that happened, the heads dropped. Crystal Palace ran away 3-0 victors over Tottenham. So Tottenham now down to 5th.
Great result for Palace, though. That's a win for them, isn't it?
Yeah, Patrick Vieira definitely needed to get the victory. But you know what? They've got a cracking little squad. They've got a cracking little squad, and I don't know about you, but I'm very interested to see how Conor Gallagher does this year after his loan spell with West Brom last season.
Absolutely, and then there's Nathan Ferguson, who was a bit of a signing for Palace. He's not even played many games yet, has he?
Poor lad with injuries on that one. But yeah, Conor Gallagher, he looks like he's had a good pre-season with Crystal Palace. He looks if anything, it looks a bit sharper actually than what he did.
Obviously, we were saying that before, weren't we? He needs a little bit more to his game, more assists, a bit more forward passing was a thing as well. I think we were talking about before. He can get goals into his game as well.
That's it. So
phenomenal.
We'll see how Crystal Palace do. They're currently in 11th. Obviously, Tottenham still in the mix, top 5. They need a better season. They definitely need a good season. Tottenham, an undefeated Brentford finally lost yesterday in very harsh circumstances. One of them last-minute winners. But Brighton,
they had to pick up a win as well, didn't they?
If you haven't seen the table, Brighton and Hove Albion, you are currently 4th.
Okay.
Now, we say we don't look at the table until 10 games in, but Brighton and Hove Albion fans, I am pretty sure you are looking at the table going, yeah, let's end the season now.
Fair play there. Who is it they lost against as well?
What a cracking start they've had. They lost to Everton. They lost 2-0 to Everton.
Oh, okay. And they've had a pretty decent start as well.
Great start. Burnley beat Burnley on the opening day. Then they beat Watford, lost to Everton, and then they've just beat Brentford. So they're doing well. Great start. Graham Potter. He's been there a while now, hasn't he?
I think he's got his message across now, hasn't he? He's been there for a few seasons.
Definitely. His approach, the players that he wants, he's definitely building something for Brighton. Brighton have always been one of those teams that you feel like that they'll be down there. They'll be down there to go down. But so far, played 4.
How long have they been in the Premier League now for? They've just stayed in, haven't they? They've not.
It's got to be 4 or 5 years, surely.
It's been a while now, yeah.
It's
definitely been a fair few seasons.
It feels like when
Chris Hughton took him up, didn't he?
He did, and it feels like Brighton now are definitely in a position where they've been in the top flight since 2017. Yeah, so good for a few seasons now.
Like you said, they seem to be in and around the bottom half. It'd be nice to see if they can make a bit of a push at the table as well.
Definitely, and that table the table's kind of slowly, without Arsenal who are down in 16th. The table's kind of starting to form like it has been for the last couple of seasons in the Premier League. So you got
Man U, Chelsea. We've seen that top 2 in years gone by.
Yeah.
City 3rd, Brighton 4th, like we just mentioned. Tottenham obviously slipped a little bit to 5th. West Ham 6th. Liverpool, obviously they're playing today.
They've got Leeds today.
Leeds, that should be a good game for the neutral
game.
Goals, I think.
Without a doubt. There's been plenty of goals in that fixture. I think was it last season? There was a massive goal.
Wasn't it a cracking game, Leeds Liverpool last season?
Let me have a quick look. Last season, 4-3 at Anfield.
I mean, for me, this is showing my age a little bit, but I always go back to the 2001 game, the 4-3, when Viduka scored a hat-trick for Leeds in that 4-3 win. That was a hell of a Premier League game, that one.
A hell of a Premier League, a hell of a team as well.
Oh yeah, that was a
Definitely.
cracking Leeds team then, and then unfortunately it all unravelled. But it's good to see them back in the league, to be honest.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Bielsa's a character as well.
Absolutely, absolutely he is. Manchester City.
Hmm.
They got a win yesterday. They got the 1-0 victory over Leicester. It sounded a tight game actually. I
Yeah, it
think
did. I was quite surprised it was this tight. I thought there'd be a few goals in that
a
as
few
well.
goals. Jamie Vardy had one ruled out
Hmm.
yesterday. Do we think could Leicester keep their perseverance? Could they still be a team that's pushing for that top? I'd say, well, it's top
I don't
7 now,
know.
isn't it?
That top four is a tough one to. It's a tough nut to crack anyway, and they
Yeah,
did. But it's can they keep that momentum? That is the question. In and around the top six would be my shout for them. I think that would be nice for them to keep in that top six overall. Because like we've talked about Man United, they're looking rejuvenated. 4 games in, but they are looking good. Chelsea will be in and around that area. City obviously will as well, and Liverpool they'll be in and around. So it's a tough top 4. And then Tottenham's, your Leicester's to break that 5-6. West Ham, we haven't talked about them today yet, but they're still there.
they're
They're
still
going to be
there.
up there, I think.
Got the 0-0 draw yesterday against Southampton. Unfortunately, Mikel Antonio got sent off yesterday, so he's going to be suspended for a few games for West Ham. Will you be all right without him?
That's it. Any West Ham fans, if you've got any views, get into us. We mentioned last week, obviously, Facebook and Twitter. Get in touch with us, definitely. If you've got views on Antonio, can you... he seems to be a talisman. Is there anybody else who can bang the goals in for you? Let us know.
Predictions.
I'll go back through the social media. So obviously Facebook, if you want to find us on there, it's facebook.com/all things football podcast. For Twitter, it's twitter.com/ATF on Anchor. What were you, sorry, Dan, predictions you were saying?
Yeah, predictions. I'd quite like to do this every week and see if it changes at all. But I'm still going to go with my champions in the Premier League. I'm still going to go with Chelsea.
Oh, so what we're gonna do? Like, what's this prediction thing we're gonna do? So, who finishes top? The rest of the top 4, bottom 3, or
I was just going to go with champions and bottom 3 for now,
yeah.
and let's let the season drift in until that, because there's quite a few predictions that we'd have to have there.
Go on, Dan. What's your prediction?
Chelsea, I still think will wrap up the league, even though we're 4 games in. But you never know; that could change. Bottom 4, I think Norwich are definitely going to go.
Yep.
Bless them. They hopefully they do get the wins and they start building momentum and prove me wrong. But I think Norwich will definitely go.
Yep.
Newcastle.
The rest of the other places. I'm
going to go with the 3 at the minute in the bottom 3. I'm going to make it nice and easy for myself because I'm a bit
in them
torn.
positions as well. Do you reckon 18th Burnley, 19th Newcastle, and 20th Norwich? Would you say? Is that what you're going to go with?
I can't go with 18th. 18th I'm struggling with. I don't think it will be Burnley, but I'm going to go with Burnley for the time being. I think Leeds will climb up the table.
Oh yeah.
Southampton could potentially drift down there. Watford obviously going to drift down there. You never know. We might get a surprise. Arsenal is still down there. Who knows? What could happen? But yeah, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley for me.
Well, I mean, Brentford's first season as well. Can you see them sort of struggling a little bit during the season?
Potentially.
I mean, they've had a great start.
Great start. I don't want to be one of those. I don't want to be one of those people on the football podcast that just go for the easy one. At the minute, I can't make a decision on Brentford, and I want to give them.
It's too early doors, isn't it?
It is indeed. But at the minute, what I've seen from Norwich and Newcastle, yeah, they go down in my eyes. I'm struggling with the third spot at the minute.
I do feel sorry for Norwich though. They are literally the prime example now of go up, go down, go up, go down. It's unfortunate because I do like the job that Daniel Farke's done to Norwich.
It's a cracking little team, and I think this season could be the season where they actually, if they go down, I think Cantwell's definitely off.
Yes, Todd Cantwell, he's been their main.
There's only so many times that boy can go up and go down. Obviously, he wants to apply his trade in the Premier League on a full-time basis. So, but
any footballer would do.
Definitely, and I'm hoping that he's not one of. There's been players that go down and they rejoin a team that have just recently gone up. So you know when teams get relegated from the Premier League, but then they move to a team that's just gone up, and then they come back down. And I just think if you're going to move to a team that is sustainable in that league.
Precisely. I mean, look at Grealish is the prime example.
Absolutely.
Is that? I mean, to
Absolutely.
be fair to Aston Villa, they weren't looking like relegation favourites at all last season. Season before they were.
There's
They had a bit of a scrap. This last season, they mid-table. They finished in the end, but he did say, "I want Champions League football," and he got his move.
I'm sitting here looking at the Premier League now, and I'm thinking Aston Villa and Wolves have got massive pressure on them at the minute.
Absolutely, the money spent.
Lost Nuno,
yeah,
Wolves
that
brought
he
in
was.
another manager that is I didn't
They've
know
kept the
who was.
Portuguese running, haven't they? For the
Absolutely, and that's their way of doing things. And again, they've brought players in, unknown players. Can they make the same impact as what the players have done at the
manager's
minute?
name. I'm awful with managers' names, especially
Bruno
foreign
Lage.
manager. Bruno Lage,
yeah.
Lage. But again, they're keeping the Portuguese feel about them. But he's quite unknown, isn't he, compared to Nuno Santos?
I'll be honest with you, Nuno Santos was quite unknown to me, apart
I
from
knew
his...
a little bit about him, but this guy I don't actually know anything.
No, this one I don't know too much about, but I feel the pressures on them and the fans. You know what it's like to be a fan of especially a West Midlands club. The pressure and the is so massive in this part of the country, where Dean Smith's going to be feeling it. Yes, they lost Jack Grealish, but you know what? They actually brought some quality players in. The lad from Norwich.
Did they bring? There's the guy they got from Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, absolutely. They brought some really good quality players in, and on paper, I'm like, hey, you know what? They may have lost Jack Grealish, but they've actually strengthened quite well. And again, it's one of those things where you've got to look at the table and think, this is another team now that needs to adapt. They've lost their maestro in Jack Grealish.
Yep.
They've brought all these players in. It's like Danny Ings. That
transfer
came out of nowhere.
Literally, there was no rumours or anything, was there? It was bonkers. Normally you hear rumours, and then when they get stronger and stronger, it's like, yep, he's going to move. But that literally just
came out of nowhere.
Happened.
Absolutely. And I think him and Ollie Watkins can do the business. But again, it's all about adapting. We're only 4 games in. They're mid-table.
Yeah. I would say so as it stands, yeah. But it was good how they invested the money literally straight away from Grealish and got, 4 or 5 players in, quality players as well.
And they did all that before Jack Grealish even left.
Exactly, they had a plan, and I actually watched I think it's their chief executive, Christian Pulisic. Is it Pulisic? I can't pronounce again. Sorry about it if I've absolutely murdered another surname there, but I actually watched his little video and how he explained how it was such a breath of fresh air to see like a higher up sort of chief executive come out and explain why they did the transfer for Grealish, their plans for the future. They wanted to be, open and honest with their fans as well. You don't see a lot of that.
And it pains me to say it, but rivalry aside, both them and Wolves seem to have. I don't know about Wolves at the minute. The fans have they're turning on the Fosun at the minute.
It's not going so as well as it was at one stage.
You're coming into the era of us, but at least your owners they invested, and that's a story for another day. We won't go into that.
Yeah, we won't go into that. There's too much tension, and it could But
Villa, you've definitely turned the ship. You had those couple of years in the Championship, which sometimes you need. You know what? These big clubs need it. Everton have been down there a couple of times when they looked like to get relegated. A couple of times. Arsenal this season. Everton never got relegated, but they've been close on a couple of occasions.
I just think of the Duncan Ferguson years when they were battling 16th, 17th, early 2000s.
And sometimes these big clubs, and Aston Villa, they are a big club. I'm not going to mention 1982, but there it is.
They are a massive club, to be honest,
but they are a big club, and they've got some fantastic owners in now. So I don't see Villa being in a struggle. Wolves potentially. Who knows? Potentially,
obviously, like we said, unknown manager, but we're not going to say it's a bad move. We don't know the guy. And there's been other examples in the past where an unknown manager's come in and been fantastic. I mean, when Michael Laudrup, when he came in at Swansea a few years ago,
revolutionary.
He set everything, like Midos when he signed him. Great striker, won the League Cup in his second season, I think, as well.
Correct.
And he came from Copenhagen, didn't he? He managed Copenhagen. He was like an assistant at Ajax in the past as well. Didn't have obviously a big name, not unknown, but he was unknown in terms of his managerial quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, give Bruno Lage time, Wolves fans, and see how he goes. But
see, that was the joy of Michael.
Not the best start.
That was a joy. He'd gone around being. I think he actually started as manager. I think he left Ajax.
Yeah.
At the end of his career, and then he went into management. But he went in. I don't know whether he was an assistant manager or he was just a coach.
If it was a coach or an assistant.
But he was at Denmark for the short period, and then he actually went into manager. And I think from Swansea, he was in Spain. I don't know whether it was Mallorca or Malaga, but I think it was
Mallorca. You know, that rings a bell. Yeah.
So Mallorca, and I think he only had like one or two seasons there. But then he went to Swansea, had a couple of years there, and yeah, you know what, he came in and he did a good job. But unfortunately, these coaches that played football sometimes work out, and he's kind of drifted away now.
He did. He had his moment, didn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't managed for a good couple of years now. So
there we go. So a little history lesson for Laudrup. I'm not going to go into major details or anything. So started at Denmark as assistant manager for 2 years, from 2000 to 02. Then went to Brøndby for 4 years in his Denmark, in his native country there. Getafe was his first Spanish managerial job for a year after, 07-08. Spartak Moscow in Russia for another year, 08-09. Then Mallorca, which we said, that was right.
Okay.
2010-2011. Then he had his 2-year spell, 12 to 14 at Swansea. I don't know this club, to be honest. Lech Wia, I think is it a Polish club? No, it's a Qatarian, sorry. Qatarian club. And then he went to Al Rayyan. I think that was another Qatarian club as well. And that was his last post. He hasn't been in management since 2018. So yeah, he has gone off the scale there.
Happens with these managers sometimes. These players that played and then they come in, they could have a good little spell. Something could work at a club and then it just kind of drifts away, kind of things. That's why I'm interested to see how Rooney and co do at their clubs. But
obviously, we're going to go on to the Championship.
Yeah, from a Premier League point of view, we've got the game today, Leeds versus Liverpool. A draw. I'm going with a draw for that one today.
Well, we're going to see goals? I think so.
We're going to see goals, but definitely a draw on the card for me.
I mean, Leeds, Ellen Road's going to be great to see fans this season. It's one of my favourite grounds as a neutral. The fans proper get behind their team.
The Everton game was superb. They had drips and drops of that coming on, obviously the telly, but on the radio as well. And yeah, Ellen Road was absolutely bouncing.
We should see some good football today from both sides. Should be attacking. It should be great.
Completely agreed. And then tomorrow night on the Monday Night Football, you've got Everton versus Burnley. And from the Premier League,
I think that's our wrap up for the Premier League. Should we go to the Championship?
We shall indeed. But before we actually start with the Football League, I just want to quickly say that it was a special anniversary during the week. The Football League turned 133 years old. And without the Football League started, and thank you to the 12 clubs, Accrington, Aston Villa, Blackburn, Bolton, Burnley, Derby, Everton, Notts County, Preston North End, Stoke, West Bromwich Albion, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. On the Saturday, the 8th of September 1888, just 10 out of the 12, they started the first ever Football League season. And after 22 games, Preston North End won the title with an 11-point gap over Aston Villa. Just wanted to quickly say that because it was a special mention.
Absolutely.
For the Football League. It's where football began,
in our country, yeah.
And those 12. Obviously, there are other clubs that were founded previously. Maybe we'll look at those on podcasts in the future of the founding members. But those 12, they were the founding members of the Football League, and that was a big thing during the week. So I just wanted to quickly mention happy birthday to the Football League.
133 years old. Happy birthday, Football League. So the Championship. What happened over the weekend then, Dan?
Goals galore. So it all started on Friday night. The homecoming, Derby, the homecoming of Troy Deeney. He got on the pitch in the end. He didn't get a goal, but Birmingham ran out 2-0 victors over Derby County.
Did he start on Friday night?
He didn't start. No, he came off. He came off the bench, for Jukovic. But Birmingham, you are currently in 7th. Lee Bowyer doing a good job. Fantastic. And I think Troy Deeney coming in, that wealth of experience is going to help Wayne Rooney and Derby. You're still in 16th, starting to lose some now. From
It was
me,
always going to be tough this season for Derby.
it is.
With everything going on in the background.
Definitely, and with transfers and only being able to bring in, it was actually mad to see Curtis Davis and Phil Jagielka leading their back line, and these are the
like
types of
days gone
players. Yeah, these are the types of players that they're having to sign. And there's no disrespect, Phil Jagielka and Curtis Davis, absolutely fantastic players in their prime, but leading a championship defence at the ages that they are, it's going to be tough.
Go on to the kid that Alex Ferguson rated massively in days gone by, Ravel Morrison as well.
Yeah,
he's just been everywhere, hasn't he, in recent years?
All over the shop. Is
that talent gonna show at some point? He must be in his late 20s now.
I'd hope so. After nearly 15 odd clubs that he's been to,
yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
It's nuts, but yeah, we'll see how he gets on with Derby County and Wayne Rooney again. But you're in 16th. You're not what everyone
at the
thought.
Bottom of the table, dead bottom.
I think reading one of the sports journalists that I've been reading on Twitter lately, I think their tribunal is going to come in at some point.
So we're going to hear more then.
So we're going to hear more about if the points deductions and things like that are going to come in.
Do we know what the points deduction could be? What the maximum could be?
3, 6, 9. They're the ones that I've heard so far. So there seems to be.
So I guess we'll hear the rule and then they'll decide what the points deduction will be.
At the minute, it's delayed. Right. So it might not come into effect until next season. I think clubs are going to be looking at what they did to Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday obviously took to points last season. But we'll see. We'll keep obviously monitoring on that one.
If there is any Derby County fans listening, get your views in. You've heard, we're on Twitter, Facebook. Message us. In the future, eventually, when we do get people on the podcast, it'd be good to hear views as well. What's your take on the possible points deduction, start to the season? How would you see life going under Wayne Rooney as well?
Absolutely. From Friday night, we went to. So
Saturday.
we'll go with the table how it is at the minute. So West Bromwich Albion are currently sitting top of the table. They got a 1-1 draw yesterday against Millwall. It didn't sound great at all that game yesterday. There was a decision yesterday that everything that I heard. I didn't attend yesterday, but everything that I heard on the radio, Grady Dan was absolutely phenomenal yesterday. He finally put in a great performance.
The form of 2 seasons ago.
But he won us the penalty. Poor penalty from Carlin Grant. It annoys me. Penalty takers, just take the penalty.
Just smash
the ball into the net.
All I think of with a penalty is Alan Shearer when he just used to blast the ball in the top corner.
This
brilliant
little shimmy run and then the stop.
Yeah,
it's so annoying. Just smack the penalty. But a 1-1 draw yesterday. And Grady Dan actually came off at half time, which I was absolutely
that's baffling.
I was baffled yesterday from that. But yeah, West Brom 1, Millwall 1. Fulham got lost. They lost.
Yeah.
So
that was a surprise.
It was a surprise. Unbeaten record has come to an end. They went to Bloomfield Road. Blackpool fans, how do you feel?
Great win. Result for Blackpool.
Great win yesterday. Blackpool, you're out of the relegation zone. You're up to 19th. Fulham still remain in second. But yeah, that was the shock of the day for me yesterday. I honestly thought Fulham, but it just shows the depth of this league.
And it's back to the old cliche of the Championship. Anyone can beat anybody.
Absolutely anyone. From our point of view, I'm dreading Tuesday night or Wednesday nights when we play Derby. We're playing Derby at home, West Bromwich Albion. So maybe our first loss is on its way as well. But who knows? Like I said, the Championship is so
funny old league.
Funny, absolutely funny old league. In third position, which was, for me, I think it was the game of the day yesterday in terms of position-wise from what the table was. And that was Stoke City playing Huddersfield, and Stoke won 2-1. Yesterday.
Sounded like a close game, that one.
It was a good game. Yeah, it was a good game. I sat and watched the highlights this morning. Stoke are doing well.
They have started really strongly, haven't they?
I think it's their strongest start to the league in 17 years.
Yeah, absolutely. So played 6, won 4, a draw and a loss. Third place. Literally level on points with Fulham now as well.
I wouldn't be too disheartened, Huddersfield Town fans, neither. You played really well yesterday, and you actually proved that, you know what, you could be. You'll definitely be up there in my eyes at this present moment in time for the playoffs.
For the past 2 seasons, Huddersfield, it'd be nice for them as well.
But definitely, they had that great day out in the sun in the Premier League for 2 seasons. Once you've got a taste for it, you want it. Even though when you support clubs like we do, you may not win very often, but you just want that taste. You just want that taste of the Premier League.
I mean,
And
we've
that
talked about how much we enjoy Championship football, but it's nice when your team is in what people class as the top league in the world as well.
definitely, and in my eyes, it is. In my eyes, it definitely is. The Championship, in my eyes, is second as well.
So entertaining though. I mean, there's people. I think it's got a lot more worldwide exposure now. The Championship for how mad it is. I remember when Bilic took over at West Brom in his first season, and he was so excited about the Championship and how bonkers it can be as well. I just remember the quote he said. It's just such a mad league sometimes.
It is a mad league, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a roller coaster. We're going to be worn out by the end of it, but at the minute,
you need a big squad normally,
and you need squad depth, and I think January is going to be very, very interesting for the majority of these clubs. Some of the teams that are up there at the minute, they may fall away. I'll come on to the bottom half of the table at the minute, but yeah, the QPR. Goals galore yesterday.
Oh, what a game at Reading. Yeah.
Goals galore. Reading 3-3. So Reading 3, QPR 3 yesterday. Swift got a hat-trick. John Swift.
John Swift, yeah.
John Swift, yeah.
He's got been talked about, hasn't he? With
massively. And he's currently the top scorer in the league. He's got 6 goals at the minute in the league. Which is mind-boggling because currently Reading...
He's a midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah, because Reading are currently 22nd in the league.
Yeah.
But he scored 6 goals. But Reading's goal scoring at the minute, they're currently on -6 goal difference. They've scored 10 themselves.
Oh, they have, yeah.
They've conceded 16.
That's exciting football there at the Majeski. Is it the Majeski they still call it now?
It's not the Majeski anymore. It's not the Majeski anymore.
It's got a sponsorship deal.
It's got a sponsorship deal now.
Okay.
While you're chatting away,
But 10 goals scored, 16 conceded. It's entertaining, but wrong half of the table, unfortunately. So 6 played, 1 win, a draw, and 4 lost. But such an entertaining game there, and that John Swift hat trick as well. And he's been talked about for moves. I've heard his name a lot in the rumour sections.
22nd in the league though. Scoring goals, conceding goals. That would have been a massive win yesterday. That would have been a massive win for them yesterday against QPR. QPR coming down. Coming back actually with the goals early in the second half. Morrison, there was an own goal from Morrison, Andre Gray, and Stefan Johansson, a name that QPR.
QPR, they got Gray on.
But they equalised in the 91st minute. So QPR, they were behind for a fair amount of the game actually. So for the last 11 minutes, they turned it on.
Reading just can't get that win at the moment.
It's going to be a very interesting season, ready for it, at the Select Car Leasing Stadium.
Okay.
Down in Reading, no longer the Majeski. However, we will still refer it as the Majeski Stadium.
That's why I remember it as.
Definitely. So QPR remaining 4th. Bournemouth are going to be, in my eyes now, very much. They have strengthened on transfer deadline day. They strengthened, and you know what? That class shown yesterday. Barnsley are no pushovers. We saw that last season.
Saw it last season.
They got to the playoff semi-finals last season. Yes, they may have lost Alex Mowat. They only lost Alex Mowat, but they pretty much retained the core of that team, and they're not going to be any pushovers. But yesterday, Bournemouth absolutely looked fantastic. I said West Brom, Fulham, 1 and 2.
Do you reckon Bournemouth could?
Bournemouth will get in there.
The automatic picture, possibly.
Automatic picture, absolutely. Okay. Bournemouth, but yeah, they ran out 3-0 victors yesterday. And I definitely want to do this one. I am so looking forward to seeing how these do this season. A couple of people that I know, Coventry City fans, you know who you are. A couple of you feel that it's a great start. The Rico, we'll still call it the Rico, is turning into a bit of a home fortress. For those that don't know, Coventry ran out 2-0 victories yesterday over Middlesbrough. Gikores and Martin Waghorn with the goals.
In what was a Premier League game 20 years ago.
It was indeed. Big crowds.
I still think of them two as Premier League teams.
I do, and think, and I am so excited to see how Coventry City do. They have had so many years now of turmoil, not knowing what's going on, if they're going to have a club, are they going to have a home, and they are currently 6th in the Championship. And Mark Robbins,
he's done a great job.
Fantastic job, but I spoke quickly to one of my pals yesterday. It feels like Coventry will drift off as the seasons go on. I'm going to sit here and go, come on. Come on, be excited. Coventry City fans, can you get back to the Premier League? Or
This is the thing, isn't
will you
it?
just be happy staying up?
With Coventry fans, they're going to have that self-doubt, aren't they? Because of the years and years they've had of turmoil.
They will.
And I would love to see them, to be honest. But
I am
for the
dreading.
Midlands, I'd love to see them get back up.
We play them in December at the Rico. I'm going to try and get some tickets for that.
Yes, please.
But
absolutely, it'd be great.
That is going to be a tough game, and I don't think we'll walk away. I really don't think we'll walk away with 3 points.
To be honest, I'd be happy with a draw.
Okay. Definitely. If they keep going like they are at the Rico, they will definitely be in that playoff picture come the end of the season. So yeah, special mention there to Coventry City, who ran out 2-0 victors yesterday over Middlesbrough. Who have I missed? Bristol City and Preston.
Yeah. Look, that was the one of 2 0-0s yesterday, wasn't it?
One of 2 0-0s, the other being Swansea Hull yesterday. Swansea Hull, you are both languishing very, very close.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like the Steve Cooper leaving Swansea's really hit them.
I honestly think, for Russell Martin, it's going to take a little bit of time. That was a name that you wouldn't think would take the step up, really, because I don't feel like MK Dons have really had. They had a good spell, really.
From what I heard of his spell at MK Dons, they played some nice attacking football as well, and passing, and that's what that is. And that's what Swansea.
That's their philosophy, yeah.
But it'd be interesting. Hasn't really ignited yet.
It will. It'd be interesting to see how they get on. Grant McCann, team are in 20. If you remember, Hull have only just come back up. Hull again are one of those teams that you feel like they should be there or thereabouts.
We've seen them up in the past.
We've seen them in the Premier League, yeah.
The journey they took in the first place years ago. You going back to like the Phil Brown days, they went from Division 3, didn't they, all the way up?
They did, yeah, back in the days of Boothby Park, and then they moved to the KCOM.
So you think of all the old memories as well, when they were in the Premier League for a bit as well.
Definitely there. Bristol City and Preston, sitting in mid-table. Point. Yep. I think that was a decent point for you both yesterday.
We talked about Bristol City I think it was the second last week, actually. No, not last week. Week before, sorry. First episode. We were talking about how they really want that push for promotion.
I think the words were, if we remember rightly, we spoke about Bristol City and Preston about that shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, those are teams that are currently. You look at that championship table, and we've got West Brom been in the Premier League, Fulham been in the Premier League, Stoke been in the Premier League, QPR Premier League, Bournemouth Premier League, Coventry Premier League, Birmingham Premier League, Huddersfield Premier League, Blackburn Premier League, Cardiff Premier League, Bristol City not been in the Premier League, Luton not been in the Premier League, Preston not been in the Premier League, Millwall not been in the Premier League, Middlesbrough Premier League, Derby Premier League, Barnsley Premier League, Sheffield United Premier League. Everyone bar Peterborough United.
Yep, all the way. Yeah, so Blackpool Hull were, obviously Swansea were. Reading were, Petersburg, nope. Forest, no. Nottingham Forest.
Playing Cardiff today.
Wow. Incredible, awful start to the season. 5 played, no wins, a draw, 4 lost, dead bottom. What's going on with Forest?
Nottingham Forest fans as well. I've seen a name rumoured today. You kick off at 2:30. John Terry to replace Chris Hughton.
Is that the
that's the rumour
favourite for the?
I don't know how I'd feel. I don't know how I feel. I think John Terry will actually be a really good manager. And you know what? If he does take the Nottingham Forest job, I'll have a bit more. Yeah, well done. You know what? Rather than wait for a Premier League job, well done. And that's what I liked about Frank Lampard's Wayne Rooney.
Looking back with Lampard now, he probably should have stayed for another season or two at Derby.
And I do like it when these Premier League players that have mastered the Premier League, you know what, they've played nothing but Premier League football. Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, all these guys. And then I always think back to Gary Neville.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have done that? Why did you have to go to Valencia? I know you were really, really good pals with the owner there.
It was the owner, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thankfully, you're a fantastic pundit, Gary Neville.
Yeah, at least he's got that going for him.
Absolutely, you're a fantastic pundit. But I think that ruined your managerial career moving forward, Valencia. But we'll see if John Terry...
I'm just going to put it out there now. We're never going to see Gary Neville on a touchline ever again.
No, because I'd much prefer to see him doing his punditry. Yeah, absolutely. So Nottingham Forest versus Cardiff City today, a 2:30 kickoff, and then Sheffield United fans, you finally
Goals
some
and 3
goals.
points.
Goals and the 3 points. Sheffield United 6, Peterborough United 2. And you know what? Signings paid off. The signings that they brought in January, I keep saying January's in the summer, finally paid off yesterday for Sheffield United. Really, really good, solid performance from them. Maybe the tide is turning. Will they be that team this season that started off really, really bad and then get themselves into the playoffs and the automatic spots? Why would you not say that?
Good thing for them. It's only 6 games in.
Definitely.
But like you said, there's been a lot of change.
There's always
the
that
new manager's
one
come
team.
in, and he's completely different managerial style to Chris Wilder as well, isn't he?
Definitely.
Jokanovic as
and we
well.
said as well, he's first foreign manager at the club as well.
Yeah.
And we've seen it so many times over the seasons where a team that has been languishing near the bottom of the season at the start of the season always seems to rejuvenate themselves, and then all of a sudden they are in that playoff and automatic promotion. We saw it with Barnsley last season.
I was just going to say Barnsley.
Barnsley last season.
October last year, 2020, they were bottom half.
Bottom half, yeah. There's always one team.
Boom.
And I'm just looking now, and I think looking at the table now, I think Sheffield United will be that team.
They could well be. I mean, they've got the players there, haven't they? They've got a good squad on paper, but hopefully we'll see them actually pick up now. I mean, the 6-2 win at home to another team languishing down the bottom is good for confidence, isn't it? Anyway,
yeah.
For the players, for the manager, his ideas are coming across now, so that's good for them. They've picked up that win and scored a lot of goals in that game as well. Is there any other games to talk about from yesterday's championship?
No, we've covered them all. Blackburn, we spoke
there
about
was the 2-2 draw against Luton
Town. We mentioned that one.
Yeah, I think that was all of yesterday's actually. Forest are playing today, aren't they?
Forest are playing today against Cardiff. We've got a big round of fixtures. 2:30, they kick off. We've got a big round of fixtures during the week.
Yes.
4 fixtures in the week. So the championship table will no doubt change there. But yeah, John Swift, he's currently leading the way as top scorer, like we mentioned, with 6 goals. And clean sheet wise, Birmingham, you are leading the way. Sarkic, 4 clean sheets so far, and it can tell you're 7th in the league. But championship wise, it's looking good. It's great to have it back. It's great to have domestic football.
Love having domestic football back.
Is there anything that took your eye in the week? There are some games going on at the minute, and we're going to talk about European football a bit later on. But there's a massive game going on in Scotland at the minute. Edinburgh Derby. It's currently Hearts 0, Hibernian 0. So I've got that on. So if anything happens there, I'll let you know. But was there anything that stood out for you in the week? Obviously, we had the international performances. But yeah, it was quiet, wasn't it? I think it was quiet during the week.
Nothing really stood out. There was nothing major that really took place. Like we said, we were going to go over the internationals a little bit, but there was major talking points.
No, there wasn't really. No, not particularly. England obviously played Poland, but the results.
To be honest, I could see that being a draw. Anyway,
I think it was definitely unlucky. Gareth Southgate. You know what? That's an interesting point. For the people that are listening, Adie's mentioned the social media that you can drop a comment or DM if you need to.
Absolutely.
I'm struggling with Gareth Southgate a little bit. Substitution wise.
Yeah, it's always been interesting.
He did it in the final. He did it in the final, and I think now we've had time to reflect. Why? I just feel like he can't make that game-changing decision.
Doesn't seem to be able to, does he? When he really needs to change the tide of a game,
I'll put a pin in that one until the fixtures come. There's some fixtures again in October.
But we'll come back to that one, I think.
We'll come back to that.
And Gareth Southgate. I know there's so many views, positives and negatives for Southgate, and it's always been the way since he took the main job as well.
Definitely. Right, we're going to take a quick pause because when we come back, Adie has got an interesting fact.
See you in a bit.
Adie, my favourite time. Yes. It's my favourite time of the week.
Here we are.
I absolutely love this section. What weird and wonderful fact do you have this week?
The mighty Zlatan Ibrahimovic of Sweden has played for 6 clubs that have won the Champions League. However, he's never actually won the trophy himself. He is not a Champions League winner. The great Zlatan. Now, the 6 clubs we're talking about: Ajax, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, Milan, as in AC Milan, and Manchester United. He's never won
Incredible.
the Champions League as a player.
You think of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. There's probably many players that haven't won the famous Champions League trophy, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic, you would definitely he stands out. Yeah,
He's a character, and you think of the clubs he's played for, but he's never been at the club when they've won. It's crazy.
So let's not downgrade him. That is an incredible fact. He's played for 6 clubs that have
Massive
won the
clubs.
UEFA Champions League, but he's never won it himself. I've got his career in front of me now. Let's see what he has won, and then we'll see what if getting that would make him the powerhouse, because where is he now? AC Milan.
He's at AC Milan. He's 40. He's 40 now, isn't he? I think. No, 39.
39 years 40 old. In
October.
AC Milan. He's still scoring goals.
He's still doing it, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's 39 years old. He turns 40 in October.
The thing is, he's got the confidence and the arrogance, and he backs it up as well.
Yeah,
he always
absolutely. Absolutely. So I've got the team. I've got his career in front of me.
Career.
Who did he start? Who did he start with?
Started at Ajax.
So he's got 2 Eredivisie titles.
Yep.
He won 1 KNVB.
Is it their League Cup, FA Cup,
their FA Cup,
thing?
and then the Johan Cruyff Shield, which is our equivalent to the Community Shield. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 trophies. No European trophies at Ajax. Next,
the Juventus.
Juventus, 2 Serie A's, but both of those were actually null and void.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to say that we can't count them, can we?
during those that Italian financial scandal period that they went through, where Juventus got relegated down to Serie A.
So unfortunately, we're going to say that's a no.
So that's a no for Juventus, I'm afraid.
Then he went to Inter Milan.
Inter Milan, he picked up 3 Serie A titles, including a Supercoppa Italiano. He won 2 of those, actually. So 5 trophies with Inter Milan.
And then Barcelona.
Barcelona, he got the La Liga title there. The Supercoppa de España, which is kind of like their equivalent to our FA Cup, 2009, 2010. So he won back-to-back ones of those. He actually won the FIFA Club World Cup. So Barcelona won the Champions League. He signed for Barcelona, and then he helped them win the World Cup. Plus, he helped them win the UEFA Super Cup as well.
Okay, so he won a fair few there.
So from high level domestic club honours, he's got the FIFA Club World Cup. He's got the UEFA Super Cup.
Yeah,
we'll keep that in mind. Then where did he go?
Then after Barcelona, he went to AC Milan.
AC Milan won a Serie A title. Supercoppa Italiano. So basically, so far, guys, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, everywhere he's gone, he's won the league title. He's definitely won a league title. And
that's an interesting stat.
And a cup. And a domestic cup so far.
Like an FA Cup or a League Cup of some description,
Where then, friend?
Then Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain, so Ligue 1 titles, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Coupe de France, 2 of those. Coupe de la Liga, 3 of those. And then Trophy des Champions, 3 of those.
I'm presuming that's their Community Shield-ish.
Yeah, there's a lot of trophies there, isn't there? I think France is very similar to us.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
They're one of the runaways, aren't they?
Trophies, there is, where the Ligue 1 and the winners of the Coupe de France win.
Then from Paris Saint-Germain, he went to Manchester United.
No league title. So the first time he went to a club and he didn't win a league title. He did win the glorious FA Community Shield. Yeah. He won the League Cup, and he also rounded off a UEFA Europa League. So he has got his hands on a UEFA. So he's got the Super Cup and he's got a Europa League. But you are right. He is missing
no Champions
League, which is unbelievable, especially for a player like that. Hey, AC Milan, no pressure on you, but
no pressure. AC
the guy's 40 in October, and that is pretty much, from a domestic point of view, with the leagues that he's playing, that is pretty much the only trophy that he's missing.
That's it. And like Dan said, no pressure, AC Milan, but we know you've got your rebuild, but you need to win that Champions League at some point before he retires.
Definitely. We might do this actually. Do your interesting facts. You bring a player.
Yeah,
we'll have a look at the stats of that player as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But perfect. Thanks again, Adie, for that strange and wonderful fact. When we come back, we're going to League One.
Absolutely.
I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start with League One, Adie, this week. Guess what?
It's been great to talk about, though, hasn't it, over the past few weeks?
We said last week, non-league fans, if you were a betting man, both teams to score, you would have won a hell of a lot of money.
Oh, was it League One this week?
League One this
Goals.
week was very much as you were. And we had our second top of the table clash in a row. We had Sunderland versus Wycombe Wanderers a few weeks back. Yesterday, Sunderland remained top of the league after beating Accrington Stanley 2-1. So Sunderland remained top. Accrington dropped down to 6th, still in the playoffs, Accrington. That dream of getting to the championship is still well and truly alive. But
absolutely.
I'm going to say it again. I think we're going to say it every single week. Sunderland definitely look the business now.
They're looking at it now.
Finally,
they finally seem to have clicked, haven't
Lee
they?
Johnson, I rate Lee Johnson highly as a manager. He does really, he's done well where he's gone. I think he was unlucky with some of the club that he's gone to.
I think he was unlucky at Bristol City. Wasn't he?
Yeah, definitely Bristol City. I think he was the one that was going to, for me, should have took him up at the time. But they didn't. And obviously things move on. But he's doing really well at Sunderland. He's finally steadied the ship, in my eyes, in League One. From that point of view, so Sunderland, ran out again winners yesterday. They've got their fixture. I'm really interested in League One this season. I think the more we do the lower leagues throughout the weeks, I'm more and more interested in what's to come.
A cracking league, to be fair. Looking at the league table, the results and the fixtures, it's a hell of a league. Absolutely.
So Sunderland, remain top. They go to Fleetwood away in the week.
It's a place to go.
Wigan, second. Wigan Athletic, after the financial troubles of the last few seasons, Wigan find themselves second in the League One after coming back from a goal down against Doncaster Rovers. Doncaster Rovers, you are still bottom.
Not looking good, is it? Just cannot get that win, even though they got the first goal in the game as well, and then it just went back on them.
Definitely,
got the 2 goals.
I don't know whether did Darren Moore leaving have a massive effect on them, because they were doing really well under Darren Moore, and we'll see. We'll
see. It's going wrong for them at the moment.
It is. There's a fair few teams in that bottom half. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But Wigan, second in the league. It's looking as you were, especially with third place, Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah, good start to the season.
In yesterday, 5-2. Over Ipswich
Way to Ipswich as well. A team that's had a lot of change.
Are struggling. And we mentioned this earlier, didn't we, about teams adapting, bringing in players.
Yeah. Change of manager, change of so many players in that squad as well.
How many games we played in this league now?
Was that played 6? Ipswich fans played 6, no wins. But you've got the 3 draws, but then you've got the 3 defeats as well.
That tide has got to turn very, very quickly. Your third bottom. I know we say about the table, wait till 10 games, blah, 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 but Ipswich Town fans, that is not nice to read.
And the thing is as well, when a club appoints a new manager, it doesn't matter what league it is nowadays, they don't get as much time as they would have done in years gone by as well.
Definitely not,
So he's got to get rolling.
He's got to get rolling.
Because he's proved himself in that league in the past, that's what they'll be looking at, won't they, as well?
Definitely. So Bolton Wanderers, Sunderland, Wigan, Bolton, those are teams that you would expect to be at the top. Now, 4th and 5th. So last week, I asked about Cole Robinson. So Wimbledon played Oxford. Cole Robinson's currently the manager at Oxford United. And I asked, what's the beef? And thankfully, one of our listeners reminded me kindly that the link goes back because Cole Robinson was, in fact, the manager of MK Dons. So there's the reason. However, from a neutral fan point of view, I want that. Currently, AFC Wimbledon 4th, MK Dons 5th. So Wimbledon yesterday ran out 4-3 winners over Morecambe yesterday, and MK Dons won 1-0 over Portsmouth. Fantastic win that yesterday.
That's a hell of a win, yeah.
From a neutral point of view, Adie, don't know about you, I want that as the League One playoff final.
That'd be great. Oh, can you imagine? That'll be tense as well. And
Wimbledon,
we know the rivalry, don't we, as well? What happened?
And I'm going to say it, and I'm sorry, MK Don fans, but the real Dons, Wimbledon, versus yourselves at Wembley in a League One playoff final. Could we see? We've had MK Dons in the Championship previously. It's been a fair few years since MK Dons have not been in the Championship. I remember going, when West Brom were in the same league as them, and you used to play at the National Hockey Stadium. rather than where you are now? Are those
I
guys?
actually had an away day. I went when I used to live in Chesterfield. I had an away day at the MK Dons stadium back in
The new one,
2007. I think it was 07-08 season. Yeah, the new
the new,
stadium.
yeah,
Back in League Two. So I
fantastic
remember that
arena.
very well.
Fantastic arena. I think the owners he's done
That's
really
a great
well.
ground.
Oh,
Really good
definitely.
ground.
It's definitely a championship ground, if not a Premier League
Yeah.
facility.
The facilities they've got on offer there as well. Yeah.
But really, I don't want to take the focus away from AFC Wimbledon because simply,
Start.
Mark Robinson, you're doing a fantastic job. I think moving the stadium move, finally being back in Wimbledon at Plough Lane. Yep.
Back to where it all began.
It's definitely bringing a bit of spark back to the Don's life there. And as we mentioned, that for me is even Accrington Stanley. If Wimbledon and Accrington Stanley can get to that playoff final or even push from a neutral point of view, that's fantastic. From there, moving down the league even further, Burton Albion 1, Gillingham 1, so Burton in 7th and Gillingham in 19th. Plymouth Argyle got an absolutely phenomenal win yesterday.
Wow.
3-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday. So Darren Moore's side went down 3-0. I was interested. I was actually interested in that fixture yesterday because I wanted to see how Saido Berahino did for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes, he signed for Sheffield Wednesday.
He did indeed. Yeah, he got minutes. He came on in the 58th minute, and obviously he played 32 minutes.
Didn't do it.
No assists. One shot. 2 accurate passes. 40% pass success.
Yeah, Wednesday fans, what happened there? Away to Plymouth as well.
3-0 victory, but I'm just saying this from a table point of view. Plymouth are currently in 8th. Sheffield Wednesday, you're in 12th.
Yeah. I mean, it's a point between them, but still, when you look at that table and you see Plymouth in 8th and then Sheffield Wednesday in 12th, it's mad.
I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing the likes of Wimbledon, Dons,
I love seeing Accrington Stanley in the top 6.
Plymouth, Wickham, even Wickham. Yes. I love it from a neutral point of view.
I go back to years gone by with Wickham. They had struggles. Wasn't it in the old Division 3, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
That's where they came from. So it's good for them to be in the League One table.
Back in the mix. I think Wickham have definitely established themselves. Talking about Wickham, they got a good draw yesterday. It was a good draw yesterday. Quite a hefty crowd at Oxford.
Away to Oxford, yeah.
Oxford 0, Wickham 0 yesterday. So they're in 9th and 10th. Portsmouth, as we mentioned, they lost 1-0 to MK Dons. So Danny Cowley and the team. Yeah, you've lost a fair few games now on the bounce, I think.
Not started too great, have they? Really?
No, they started off really well. They started off really well in the league. But they've lost 3 on the bounce.
It's just sort of like dipped off a little bit, yeah.
So they've lost 3 on the bounce. So they started off really well. So they got a 1-0 victory over Fleetwood, 2-0 to go home to Crewe. Then they beat Shrewsbury, drew 0-0 against Doncaster. And we've spoke about Doncaster sitting rock bottom at the minute. They lost to Wigan, lost to MK Dons. So they're losing. They are losing to teams that are above them and doing well in the table.
But Portsmouth fans, they're going to want to see some form picked up.
Absolutely,
from the early day.
Absolutely,
the early start to the season.
Definitely. Portsmouth fans, you've got a home game against Cambridge, and Cambridge, they're doing really well at the minute. So Sheffield Wednesday 12th, Rotherham in 13th. Rotherham, you had a big loss yesterday. Really big loss, 4-2.
Yeah,
away at
4-2
Fleetwood.
At home to Fleetwood Town.
Simon Grayson, he's a man that we know very well. His name's been flaunting around the leagues for many, many years.
Yeah, he's been in the rounds, hasn't he? Championship League One, yeah.
Yeah, 4-2 victors yesterday over Rotherham. They're currently in 17th.
Not the best
No, not at all.
Rotherham, really.
Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham, you're both in mid-table.
Fresh from relegation, both of them, aren't they?
Fresh from relegation. They should be up there.
They should, but maybe they just haven't. Maybe the relegation.
But there are stronger teams. At this present moment in time, there are stronger leagues in that league. But yeah, we'll see how they get on.
For one, Wigan looking very strong as well. Early on, them two. Massively compared to be honest, compared to Wednesday and Rotherham, they're looking much stronger at the moment.
Absolutely. This next team, I don't want to overshadow the team that they beat yesterday, because the emphasis should be the fact that Cheltenham Town, you're currently 14th in the table after promotion. You beat Charlton at the Valley yesterday, 2-1. Two goals, Blair and Perry, and then Jonathan Lecco. Getting the goal back for Charlton. But Charlton, you are currently just above the relegation spots in 20th.
Charlton. What's going on, Charlton fans there?
Who's their gaffer these days? Nigel Atkins?
Is it Nigel Atkins?
Yeah,
I
it's
think it
Nigel.
might be because
Yeah,
Bowie left to go to Birmingham last
he
season,
did.
didn't
Yeah, Nigel Atkins,
he?
manager at Charlton. Struggling.
He's had his history with the Championship and
I
League One teams, hasn't he, in the past as well?
He has indeed. Another
Nigel
name that's
Atkins, yeah.
been knocking around for
Floating
a
around,
while.
yeah.
Yeah, same with Richie Wellens at Doncaster.
Yes,
They,
yeah.
they seem to be struggling. Paul Cook, Richie Wellens, Nigel Atkins. Yeah, you're struggling with your teams this season, languishing that lower half.
Oh, what a poor start. They need to pick up soon.
They do.
The thing with League One as well, once you have a poor start, it's tough to pick it back up. It's tough
Agreed.
to really get going again as well. So Charlton are going to have to start getting results if they want to. Well, I mean, the start of the season, where would they want it to be?
Already, I'm saying Charlton. Yeah, already, I'm saying Charlton and Ipswich. I know it's early doors, but can you really get into the top six? Yeah, can you really get into the top six? I don't think you can with what I've seen so far from these teams.
Need to get results going very, very quickly if things
another season for Ipswich in League One can't be good. No. But we said that about Sunderland, and look how well they've done this season. It's all about adapting, building new ethos.
But this is the thing for Ipswich fans, though, isn't it? No, absolutely not. I mean, like we've said previously with Sunderland, this is their how many seasons in League One now? Is this their third or fourth season in League One?
I think. Yeah, fourth.
They seem to be showing the form to get promotion now, which is obviously good for their fans. But Ipswich, I mean, the Paul Lambert era is over. You're thinking, oh, here we go. Let's see if we can build ourselves back up, and it's just not happened yet. However, it does take time for teams to gel. New manager, lots of new players. So time will tell, but they do need to pick up results.
So I'm just looking now. Yeah, Sunderland, four. This is their fourth season in the in League One.
I thought it was 3 or 4. Yeah.
Ipswich Town.
I think it's been a fair few seasons now in League One. I think.
I'll find that information out. I'll find that out. Cambridge.
Seems like it's been a while.
It has been a while. I'll let you talk. How did Cambridge get on yesterday?
Cambridge yesterday. Home game against Lincoln City. We know from last season.
How did Michael Appleton and the boys do?
Absolutely. Finished Cambridge United 1, Lincoln City 5. What a defeat at home for Cambridge there. But
still in 15th.
Still not a bad start to the season.
And you're 15th. Still above Lincoln.
But that's a hell of a game to lose at home, though.
Definitely,
not good for confidence.
And again, Cambridge, they've only just come up. Lincoln, they were playoff finalists last season, so both sitting in that kind of middle-ish table kind of position there. But a 5-1 win is always a good thing to do, Mark.
I'm just looking at Lincoln City's form. So they won the first day, lost 3 in a row, and then they've got that win. So they needed that win massively, really. If they want their playoff hopes to revive. But Cambridge, to be fair, not a bad start. I mean, a 5-1 defeat at home is not great for anybody. But overall, back in League One. Well, is it the first time in a long while back in League One?
For a fair while, yeah. For a fair while for Cambridge.
Not a bad start. It's pretty even, really. So played 6, won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. Pretty even. So not a bad start at all, really.
They should do well. Cambridge United this season.
I'll be keeping
an eye on them. Like I said, we're going to keep an eye on these leagues because I'm really excited about how they're doing. I'm just having a look. League 2, Cambridge United. Last time they were in League 2 was in the 2004-2005 season.
Oh, was that in?
Actually, no. In this league, no, apologies. I tell a lie.
Ooh.
It was actually 2001-2002.
Oh, so it has been some time.
Has
it been 20 years? 19 years?
Pretty much that. They were in Division 1, the old Division 1. In the first ever season of the Premier League, 92-93, they were in Division 1.
Cambridge, yeah.
So they were in the second. So they kind of went down from there. They were in the conference from 2005-2006.
Yeah.
Spent a fair few years actually.
They were in non-league for a bit, weren't they?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons in the conference, and they came back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So took them 7 seasons to get back.
Apart from that defeat, a big defeat yesterday at home, but not a bad start to the season, really.
Not a bad start at all, and the same can be said for Lincoln. They should be doing better, but that definitely that 5-1 win yesterday is going to do them the world of good. Absolutely. We've mentioned Fleetwood already after picking up that victory for themselves. Morecambe, we've mentioned Morecambe quite often. Again, unlucky yesterday, 4-3. The cracking game, 4-3 lost away AFC Wimbledon. Gillingham got the draw, as we mentioned, against Burton. Charlton, we mentioned Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury Town.
So we haven't mentioned Shrewsbury or Crewe, and they played each other in what we're going to be calling the nice relegation 6-pointer.
Yeah.
And
Lo and behold,
it finished exactly like that. It was a draw.
1-1
It was
draw.
1-1. 1-1 draw.
But yeah, that's pretty inevitable, isn't it? Really, for the bottom
Absolutely
half. Struggling
inevitable.
confidence-wise, struggling to score goals, and when you get that goal, you want to just hold on, and they both held on for the draw. So probably a fair result by the looks of it.
And I've just remembered, I didn't even do my prediction for the Championship.
Okay.
I'm still going to go with Fulham.
Oh, sorry, we're going to go for the winners and the 4 free to go down.
I'm still going to go with Fulham.
Okay.
For the league, going down, Peterborough United.
Yeah.
Peterborough United.
It's a tough league, isn't it, to predict?
I'm going to go Blackpool.
Yeah.
And I will go with, I think, Derby.
Okay.
I think the season might roll out too much for Derby, and if these points come into effect, it might just be a little bit too tough for them to go.
To be honest, I'm thinking for the title, like you, Fulham. I think they've got too much for the teams around them. God, bottom 3, it's a tough one. I can see Forest going down, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
throwing
that one out there. I'm throwing that one out there.
You're going to throw that one out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to go with positions, but I do think they're going down. Peterborough, unfortunately, as well. And, it's a tough one. Because I think Wayne Rooney's doing a cracking job for the pressure he's under there, and obviously lack of finances, and there's all sorts going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Derby are going to go, I think, as well. Yeah.
Well, it hasn't been too well. Yeah, go with the Nottingham Forest. It hasn't been too long. 2008.
Really. They were in League
2000,
One.
League One, 2008. Yeah, 2008.
They've been there fairly recently, haven't they?
I think those were the days when they had Grant Holt and Junior Go-Go.
Yeah, I think
it was. Blast from the past. Yeah, blast from the past. For those. Okay, League One. That's Sunderland without a shadow of a doubt. I'm going to go with Sunderland to win the league. Mm-hmm. Automatic promotion. I'm going to go with. I am going to go with Sheffield Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're going to pick it up?
I think they'll pick it up. It's still early doors, isn't it? Still there. Relegation. Doncaster. I can't see from what I've seen so far. No. I can't see coming back from that. Crewe.
Again,
I think Cambridge. So Doncaster, Crewe, Cambridge.
Okay.
And I don't want to say it because I spent some good years down in Gillingham in Kent, but I think Gillingham might slip out this season.
Me for League One, Sunderland are going up, I reckon. Automatic with them. I think Bolton might actually pip Wigan. To be honest, I can see Bolton going up. Bottom 4, Doncaster are going down in my eyes as well. Crewe, unfortunately, I think they'll go with them, even though they've just bounced back up, haven't they, Crewe?
Yeah.
I think Ipswich will escape trouble, but only finish mid-table, so they won't be in trouble there. I can see Shrewsbury going down, and then the 4th team, Gillingham, I think, as well, to be honest. Yep. Because they just don't.
Prove me wrong, Steve Evans.
Yeah, prove us wrong, Steve Evans. You've been in the leagues for a long time now, but I can see them going down. Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic. When we come back, it will be League 2.
See you in a bit.
As you were in League 2 for this week.
League 2. How's it been this week?
Couple of fixtures on Friday night. Barrow played Colchester in a 3-2 win for Colchester over Barrow. Flying high at the minute in the league, Harrogate Town. They got the 2-2 draw over Newport on Friday night. Ooh. So Harrogate, you are currently in 2nd. And that is simply because Forest Green Rovers got back to winning ways yesterday.
Yeah.
And a 1-0 victory over the Cobblers, Northampton. Forest Green seem to be back on track for there. Leyton Orient are in 3rd.
They're flying, aren't they? They're doing pretty
well. Big win yesterday, but a big win against a team that is, for me, I Goldham Athletic fans. 2 weeks now I've been on it.
We've mentioned it, haven't we? The issues and how it's.
We don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, you are struggling. 4-0 loss yesterday. I think Oldham actually put out earlier in the week that they weren't going to sell tickets.
Oh, really?
So it's getting to that point. I think the protest, and I'm not being funny, the protest was very light-hearted, and there was no trouble or anything that
I
we
didn't
saw
hear of anything
on the
major
highlights.
troubles or anything.
No, but I think the owners are now turning. The fans obviously turned on the owners, but the owners are going to do exactly the same.
Striking back, are they?
Yeah, denying them entry. But yeah, Oldham, you are still bottom of the league when it comes to there. What a team that has come up. They've only just come up. They're back. The Monkey Hangers, Hartlepool United, Jeff and the boys will be very, very happy with how they're doing. 4th in the league.
Great start.
Beat Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers still struggling under Joe Barton.
Wow. Bloody hell. Blimey, should I say? Sorry, ignore what I just said there. 7 played, 2 wins, a draw, and 4 lost for Bristol Rovers under Joey Barton.
They won't tolerate it.
Really.
Bristol Rovers fans, they won't tolerate it for too long. They will be on his back very, very shortly, I think. I don't think that if it carries on like this, it won't last too long for Joey Barton at Bristol Rovers. Because they are a big club. They are a massive club, Bristol Rovers. They are a league. So, we said this. We said this last week. They are a massive club. They've got is it Leon Clark? They signed Leon Clark in the summer. He's still knocking around. And I tell you what, this man, he's at more clubs than I've had Sunday dinners.
Isn't he at Sheffield United at one point?
He was. He's been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
Still going.
23.
Wow.
He's played for a couple of clubs twice, but he's had 23 listed clubs.
Is that all EFL clubs as well?
Yeah, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Kidderminster Harriers, QPR, Plymouth. Then he signed for Sheffield Wednesday. Then he went on loan to Oldham, Southend. Then he signed for QPR. Then he went on loan to Preston. Then he signed for Swindon. Then he went on loan to Chesterfield. And then he signed for Charlton. Then he went on loan to Crawley, Scunthorpe, Coventry. Then Coventry signed him. Then Wolverhampton Wanderers signed him. Then he went on loan to Wigan. Then Bury. Then Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Looking at his, and then Wigan, Shrewsbury, and now Bristol Rovers.
Yeah.
He scores goals.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of appearance-wise, he doesn't hang around very long.
No.
It's only the two Sheffield. Only the 2 Sheffield clubs. Sheffield United, he played 88 games, scoring 29. Sheffield Wednesday, 83 games, 18. And then Wolves, 74, 13 goals. But yeah, Leon
too much, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, plenty of loans.
Yeah.
He had a cracking season for Coventry, 2013, 2014, 34 games, 23 goals. But yeah, Leon Clark at Bristol Rovers, but they couldn't pick up.
Travelled around, hasn't he?
He has indeed, and they couldn't pick up the win yesterday over those. Rochdale, you had some money troubles during the summer and COVID and things like that, but you sit in 5th, picked up a 1-0 victory over Tranmere Rovers yesterday.
Yep, that's a good win there.
So good start for Rochdale. Bradford and Salford.
Yeah.
They called it the heavyweight clash yesterday. Bradford, a massive club. Salford, got money.
Becoming a massive club.
Becoming a massive club. They will be. They need to get into League One. I honestly, at this point in time now, they would be in League One.
For how they've been backed as well, they should be really.
Yeah. But they got the win yesterday. So Salford got the victory yesterday over Bradford.
Much needed win for them. Much needed win for Salford.
And they need it, yeah. And Gary Bowyer, we spoke about Gary Bowyer. He needed that victory for himself. But yeah, so Salford getting a 1-0 victory over Bradford. So Bradford, you are 6th. Salford, you are still but around mid-table. You're in 14th. Heading into this week's fixtures as well.
Speaking of what were you saying with Salford's manager, it's Gary Bowyer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the we got a comment on Twitter actually reference Mr. Bowyer. It was from Scott Mitchell, Blackburn Rovers fan. Obviously, Bowyer was there. Oh God, when was it? Must have been 3 years ago. So he tweeted us and he said, "Great listen, lads. Had it on the way up to Leeds. Gary Bowyer surely won't be lasting much longer at Salford City." And then #right good go, because I believe that was his quote he used to sort of come out with when he was the manager at Blackburn.
We'll give it a right good go.
Yeah. So Salford City fans, have you got a response for that? How do you see Gary Bowyer going? Because he's not had the best of starts, has he? Really?
Not the best as well. However, that win has helped them get up to 14th. Maybe you know what these leagues are like. Get another win. Then all of a sudden you're in the playoffs.
You look at it. 14th place, played 7, won 2, drawn 2, lost 3. It's an up and downy sort of start, isn't it? It's nothing to worry about just yet.
Nope.
But they for like we said, they want to get to League One. They've had a lot of backing. They need to win games and they need to push for the playoffs at the very least, I would say.
Couldn't agree more.
But is he the right manager to do it? Is Gary Bowyer the right man?
He's not my cup of tea. He's not my cup of tea. I just feel like, they've had some good managers, Salford, and I just feel like they just keep getting rid of them. You need to embed, give them time. Give some managers, I can agree. Like Bristol Rovers, Joey Barton. I think if you gave him the time, he would turn it around. But I know what kind of fan base you've got. Yeah, I know what your fan base is like. You will demand change if things still continue to go south. So we'll see how Salford get on. Swindon Town, they played yesterday. They actually lost yesterday to Port Vale 2-1 at home. So Port Vale, you are in 11th.
It's a good win for Port Vale.
Exeter City, great win. 4-0 win over Scunthorpe.
Fantastic.
After a little bit of a shaky start, you are now embracing yourself and you're getting back into where you have been for the last couple of seasons around that playoff mix. Northampton, we mentioned, lost 1-0 to Forest Green. Colchester, we mentioned, beat Barrow 3-2 during the week. Story of the day,
Friday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, story of the day. It's finally happened. Sutton United, 3 points.
Got the win.
First 3 points and their first win as a Football League club. You still remain in 23rd position. However, I do believe you've got a couple of games in hand.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Dan. Yeah, they've played 5 games. The rest have played at least 6, mainly 7 games.
Okay.
So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say 2 games in hand. So not looking too bad, really.
Get those 2 games in hand. I'm pretty sure that'll fly them up to the brown mid-table mark. So Sutton United fans, are you now excited? Now your season's underway. You've got a win. You are playing at home now after the pitch was being relayed for
Good
that. But
2-1 win there.
Cracking win yesterday, 2-1 against Stevenage. They had started really brightly. You are currently in 18th. And then last but not least, one of our Midland contingent, Walsall. Big win yesterday.
Oh, massive win.
Big win. 3-1 win over Nigel Clough's Barnsley yesterday.
Absolutely need that for confidence, didn't they?
And I've got to say, I was really interested in their in the highlights this morning. The lad that scored 2 goals for them, Miller, he is quick.
Is that George Miller?
If you get the opportunity to watch those, he was quick.
Sounds like he had a cracking game as well.
He did have a really good day. If he was a man of the match,
the woodwork with a superb dipping 25-yard volley.
Oh, that shot was unreal. It looked like it was going in, but it just hit the bar on the outside of the post.
And it looks like it was only the Mansfield keeper having a bit of a. He kept denying his hat trick as well.
It was one of them players. He was that excited player yesterday that was just going to take a shot from wherever I needed to take a shot.
He just felt, go on, absolutely. I'm just going to smash it and go for it.
Definitely. But Walsall, you're up to 16th. Mansfield, you are currently in 20th. In the league. Prediction-wise,
struggling so far.
Prediction-wise for me so far at this stage, I'm just going to go with the champions so far, who I think will go up as champions. I'm going to go with Harrogate.
Really?
Town. fresh air. Harrogate Town for me as
It'd be
champions.
Phenomenal if they did go up, wouldn't it?
It'll be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the same will be said if Sutton and Barrow could also do the same, and get themselves have a really good season for their going down. Oldham.
I think I've got one. I was going to, bang on the money there.
I honestly can't see how this season turns around for you. At Oldham Athletic.
It looks like it's going the way that it went for Macclesfield.
I think as well, if we look at it this way, Oldham Athletic would be the first, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm definitely going to need your stat head on for this one.
Yeah.
Oldham Athletic will be the first team to have played in the Premier League
to drop out. I think you're actually right, to be honest. First team who've been in the Premier
League, correct?
Because they were they there? Was it 93, 94?
93, 94, yeah.
Yeah, they were in there then. I think you might be right. I'm just thinking off the top of my head now. I can't
I've
think of
always
any
had
other teams who've
Bradford.
dropped out of the
I've had
leagues into
Bradford in my
non-league.
mind for a long time because they dropped down into League Two, and they've had a
But they
couple of
never dropped
seasons
down to
where
non-league,
but they
though.
never dropped down, because they were in
Yeah.
League Two. But Oldham Athletic,
Could they be that team who
they could
played
be
in the
the
Premier
first team
League
that played.
once
Yeah, mad.
and then go down to league non-league? That'd be
Definitely.
pretty mental.
Other than that, I'm struggling for the second team to go down.
Yeah. Like we said before, Sutton United have got the 2 games in hand. They seem okay, don't they? There's nothing to really. Mansfield Town, though, their form's been pretty dire. They drew on the first game of the season, but since then they've just lost all their games.
Is that how it's planned? Oh,
I mean,
Christ.
well, it's seven played.
Yeah, they have.
1-2, drawn 1, lost 4. They've
So
lost the last few games.
beat Newport on the opening day of the season.
Yeah.
2-1. Grabbed the draw against Colchester 1-1.
Yeah.
Lost to
Then
Bradford 3-2. Swindon 1-0. Then
last 4
Harrogate.
games defeats. It's not good for confidence
They're
at
conceding
all.
goals massively. Big game next on Saturday. Mansfield Rochdale. Rochdale flying high. Mansfield in the lower half. So they've got Leighton Orient and Barrow as well. They've got that'll be a big game. Saturday the 9th of October. Mansfield Oldham. Could that be the 2 teams at the bottom half? We shall see. Who's your champions?
My champions for League Two. God, it's a tough one. I'm going to go for Forest Green Rovers.
Forest Green Rovers.
Yeah.
Again, they'll be a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Another team that's not been in League One.
They've been there, have they? Because I remember their days in non-league as well. They were there for so long, got to League Two, stabilised, looking good this season. So that'd be nice.
They've got an owner that's very environmentally friendly.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right in thinking they're the most environmentally friendly club in this country as well?
They are looking to build a very environmentally friendly, we keep saying that, stadium. Quite close to the motorway. That's just going to be
it's purely vegan food, isn't it?
Sustained. Yeah. If you're looking for a burger at Forest Green Rovers, you can get one, but it'll be a vegan or it'll be non-vegetarian.
There'll be no meat.
There'll be no meat. There's no meat at that club, so there is a bit of a trek if you do want a burger around at Forest Green. Fantastic. When we come back, we will be just briefly touching base with non-league football, and then we'll wrap up what's going on around Europe.
Just before the break there, I'm just going to say my relegation team, I think I said it already, it's got Oldham Athletic going down for definite. To join them, I'm going to unfortunately say Sutton United, based on the fact it's their first time back in the league for a long time, but anybody could go down at the moment. It's early days, and breaks coming up. See you in a bit.
So just to quickly run through non-league, because like we said, we want to do all things football. What we're doing for non-league, we're just doing the non-league, National League, the North and the South, and we'll just cover the results for the teams that are in those top 7 spots in those leagues. So currently, the table looks like this. At the top of the National League Premier, we've got Dagenham and Redbridge, who on the BT game last night ran out winners, 2-1 win over Kings Lynn Town. Mm-hmm. Boreham Wood are currently in second. They played Bromley yesterday and got a 3-2 victory over there. So again, I think we said that each and every week so far. It'd be great to see Boreham Wood if they can keep that momentum going and get them into the Football League. Chesterfield got a draw yesterday over Dover Athletic. So Dover, if you don't know, are bottom of the league currently. But I believe that's their first point of the season. And they
minus 11.
Minus 11, because of troubles last season and non-playable games. So that's Chesterfield. Grimsby Town, who got relegated last season. They picked up a really good win yesterday. 3-1 victors over Torquay United. Notts County played away. Weymouth.
Away to Weymouth. 1-1 draw.
Yeah, 1-1 draw away at Weymouth yesterday. Yeovil Town, there's another team that we know that have been Football League before.
They actually played the championship. They got to the championship, didn't they?
They did indeed.
Was it Gary Johnson?
Gary Johnson, yeah.
Yeah.
So that Johnson family reputation is still going high there. But they ran out a really good win yesterday. Stockport County, a team that is massive in my eyes in non-league football. Stockport County 0, Yeovil Town 3. And then last but not least, a team that came down last season, struggling with life in the National League Premier, Southend United. And normally you'd think that they were in the playoffs. But Halifax Town are. They finish up in the last spot in the playoffs, and they won 3-1 over
That's
Southend
a
yesterday.
win against Southend United.
Fantastic win yesterday for Halifax Town. Southend United, you are struggling in this league.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about adapting. All about adapting. In the north, as you were really, I'm not going to lie, as you were pretty much. AFC Fylde, they are currently top. They beat Bradford Park Avenue yesterday 2-0. Brackley Town, not too far away from me, Brackley Town, but a 1-0 victory over Southport yesterday. Curzon Ashton, they are currently in third. A team that we mentioned a couple of times as well. They beat Gloucester. Beat Gloucester yesterday 2-1. Gloucester are struggling this season after I feel again. I will say I felt sorry for Gloucester Town because they had a fantastic season last year, and obviously promotions never happened in the non-league steps. Spennymoor Town, they won 6-0 away at AFC Farnsley Celtic.
Oh wow, that's a big
sorry,
win.
at home.
Was it at home?
Farnsley
Massive
Celtic.
win, 6-0.
Game of the day in the Conference North yesterday. Kidderminster Harriers played Gateshead. Who do you reckon won that one?
On paper, I would have said Kiddie.
Kidderminster 2, Gateshead 3.
Wow.
So Gateshead picking up all 3 points yesterday. So that was a big game yesterday. Kidderminster in 5th.
Massive, big clubs in that league, isn't it?
There are indeed. They are indeed. It's the same with York, but York ain't currently in that top 7. So unfortunately, York City fans, until you are, we won't be able to mention you, I'm afraid. But let us know how you are getting on in that league. And last but not least, 7th, Kettering Town. You beat Guiseley yesterday 2-1.
Yep.
Into the south, Dartford remain at top of the league. 1-1 draw yesterday over Tonbridge Angels. Maidstone United got a 2-2 draw. That was the game that it was. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong here. There were a fair few game of the days yesterday in the Conference South. So Dartford, as we mentioned, they are top. They drew 1-1 with Tonbridge Angels. Maidstone are in 2nd. They played 3rd place Concord Rangers. 2-2 draw. And then Oxford City, who are in 4th, played Haventon Waterlooville, who are in 5th. Oxford City, I should say, won 2-1 away at Haventon Waterlooville. And then Bath City, they got a 3-1 victory over Braintree Town yesterday. And then last but not least, propping up the playoffs is Hampton and Richmond Borough FC. And what a win that was yesterday, 3-0 over Ebbsfleet United.
What a win.
How did Worcester City get on?
I actually went to Claines Lane yesterday to see Worcester play. Still struggling to score goals. I was chatting to my mate who I went to the football with yesterday, got to the 90th minute. I said, you know what? Looks like Hanley, they're going to steal the win. Lo and behold, last minute, keeper came off his line, no man's land. Boom, Hanley had a 1-0 defeat.
And that was against Hanley Town.
That was against Hanley, that's right, yeah.
Hanley Town. And then different.
Worcester had won 2 games on the bounce and then got that defeat, but just not looking great up top, unfortunately. Couldn't score.
Can't score.
Nope.
Same really. Yesterday, Nuneaton Borough, they played AFC Rushden and Diamonds. Lost 1-0 to Rushden and Diamonds. And ironically, the player who scored was Diamond.
Diamond for Diamond. What a diamond.
Exactly that. So table-wise, Nuneaton are 17th in the Southern Central Premier Division. When we come back, all things European football.
Yep, we'll be back.
How's the Bundesliga looking, Adie?
The Bundesliga. Well, I know that we were talking about Julian Nagelsmann, weren't we, at the start of the season, see how he was going to do with Bayern Munich. And lo and behold, looks like they are back to
great win yesterday. Yeah, they've 4-1 victories yesterday over Leipzig. So his old club, actually.
Should we go through the games yesterday, the results from yesterday?
Yeah, mention Wolfsburg. Definitely mention Wolfsburg because they are unbeaten. They haven't lost.
Yeah.
They haven't lost. They haven't picked up a draw. They are sitting top of the league. Another win yesterday against Greuther Fürth.
Fair play, Wolfsburg.
Yeah, so 2-0 victors yesterday. Bayern Munich, as we mentioned, was it 4-1? 4-1 Leipzig. How did your Dortmund do? Come on, how did Dortmund?
Cracking game there away to Leverkusen. Finished Bayer Leverkusen 3, Borussia Dortmund 4. Cracker of a game there. Haaland was on the goal, funnily enough.
Of course he
was.
Did score
of course
twice. He was.
Yep.
Of course
and then Brandt and Guerrero finished it off there. Bayer Leverkusen, let's have a look. So
Bayer Leverkusen in 6th.
Yep. They were winning. It was a cracking 4-3 game by the looks of it. Bayer Leverkusen were winning. Haaland got the reply. Schick got the goal to make it 2-1 to Leverkusen on the stroke of half time. And then they were winning 3. Yeah, I think they were actually 3-1 up by the looks of it. And then Borussia Dortmund just ransacked the game, came back into it, and then ran out 4-3 winners.
Lovely stuff. And then rounded up the last Champions League spot, we got Mainz, Freiburg still up there, and then Bayer Leverkusen, as we mentioned. And then the relegation zone is currently Hertha Berlin. They're still bottom.
Still struggling, aren't they?
Yeah, and then Borussia Mönchengladbach are in that relegation playoff. Bundesliga 2. I am pleased to say that Schalke are currently playing. They are currently playing away at they are currently away at Paderborn, and we are 5 minutes to go, and it's Paderborn 0, Schalke 1 with Terodde with the goals. So hopefully we can get that win, and that will bring us up to about 7th, I think, in the league. But Jans Regenberg, they still lead the way.
Are they still doing it?
Still leading the way. They are currently 2-2. They're playing Nuremberg at the moment, and it's 2-2. Paderborn, as we've mentioned, currently losing 1-0. And then Werder Bremen, they are currently in third position. Werder Bremen are in third position. They got the victory yesterday, I believe. Yep, 3-0 victors over Ingolstadt.
They're looking okay, aren't they? What was that? That's played 6, won 3, drawn 2, lost 1. Werder Bremen, obviously the first time in the Bundesliga too for a long time, isn't it?
Very long time, yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
let's have a look at the rest of the table. Hamburg, as we refer to them as, 9th in the table. They've not started too well.
Got the victory over Sandhausen. They've actually got Werder Bremen next week. Yeah, they've got Werder Bremen next week, so that'll be a cracking game.
Bundesliga 1 game there, yeah.
Cracking game, Carl's. But yeah, the rest of the league, and still can't pick up a win for the love of money. But they've got 3 points on the board. Erzgebirge Aue, Ingolstadt, and Sandhausen, and Holstein Kiel. They were the playoff final last season to get promoted. They're languishing near the bottom.
Yep.
How are Juventus doing without Cristiano Ronaldo?
Juventus. Let's have a look at Juventus, shall we? How is life going for them without Mr. Ronaldo? We're going to the Serie A table. I don't see them in the top 6. I don't see them in the top 10. They're languishing in 16th place. They have played 3, no wins, a draw, and 2 defeats. Looks like they're struggling. Not a good start for. I think it's Allegri took over, didn't he, in the summer? Because Conte. No, was it Conte? No, Conte has been there before. Who was their manager before Allegri?
Pirlo.
Who did he take over? Pirlo, correct. Poor start. Very poor start. Napoli currently on top, 3 wins from 3. Inter Milan second. Life after Conte is looking okay. Lazio, Roma, Milan make up the top 5. But Juventus, 16th. That's got to be their worst start in a long time.
Well, I don't know. They apart from the financial problem they had, and they were in Serie B.
Yeah, I mean, apart from that, but being in Serie A.
Yeah, in Serie A right now, regardless of the fact that you're just Cristiano Ronaldo, Juventus, you steamrolled the league before even Ronaldo came along.
Yeah.
So yeah, massively. I don't know what's going on there.
Do you ever look at La Liga?
La Liga, yeah. So Bilbao, they are currently
Bilbao.
They are currently top. There are some games being played currently around Europe.
Yeah.
Let me just go to La Liga. There's no games currently playing. Oh, there is. Espanyol are currently beating Atletico Madrid 1-0 at the minute. But table-wise, Bilbao in top spot. Real Madrid, Sevilla, Valencia, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Mallorca. They make up the top 7 for those European spots.
Yep.
The fixtures we got today. We got Osasuna, Valencia, and Real Madrid, Celta Vigo.
Oh, is that Real Madrid, Celta Vigo playing? Is that tonight, is it?
Tonight, yeah.
Okay. Bottom 3, Celta Vigo in 18th, Getafe in 19th, and then Deportivo Alaves are bottom of the table. I don't think there's any real surprises down the bottom half by the looks of it. Looks like business as usual, apart from Barcelona and Real Madrid will definitely want to pick up after not winning the title last season.
I was saying, Sevilla and Barcelona, they were due to play yesterday, but that was postponed. I can only presume that maybe COVID restrictions or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, Liga 1, what a surprise. Paris Saint-Germain.
Top of the league.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Did they win 4-0?
No Messi yesterday.
Okay.
No Messi yesterday. They won yesterday 4-0. Yep.
I think I did see 4-0, yeah.
Herrera with 2, Kylian Mbappe and Gaia with the goals for them.
So, PSG played 5, won 5. We don't even need to go into details, do we? Really, for the French league, to be honest.
No, could this be the season where PSG win every single
game? Or I think they've done it undefeated before, haven't they?
Yeah. I still don't think they'll win the Champions League.
Game.
Still don't think they'll do the Champions League.
I don't think so, to be honest, either.
Definitely not. But yeah,
that's about it for the French league.
Yeah, Angers,
Marseille
third. Yeah,
Angers
Nice
in second place. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on.
Definitely.
Foot, they're a new team as well, aren't they? In the Liga.
Clermont, Lorient, and Nice with my
Monaco.
worst.
Ooh,
in my
16th.
worst accents there. Monaco.
Languishing in 16th.
Yeah, not good.
Not good for them.
We've had one game so far today, Montpellier. They won 2-0 over Saint Etienne. But there's a fair few games currently playing now. Lyon play tonight. Nice are playing late this afternoon. So yeah, some good games. Just quickly, carry on, go for it.
I was just going to say, Liga 1 it looks back to business for
back
PSG
to business.
this season.
Yeah, well, I'd say so.
Looks it.
Angers,
so far.
Clermont, Lorient, they're spicing up a little bit, which is always good. Just
quickly
teams, into Scotland, in the Edinburgh derby, it did finish Hearts 0, Hibs 0. So Rangers currently top of the league after their 2-1 victory yesterday over St Johnstone. Hibs in second, Hearts in third, Motherwell in fourth, and Celtic in fifth, with Aberdeen in sixth. And Livingston, you currently prop up the league there.
It's looking like Celtic. You would think they'd finish second, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. But
so.
It'll be refreshing. It will be refreshing to see something new potentially in that league. But from me, that rounds up my European section for this week.
Okay. I think that is the end of our show today. Is there anything more you want to say, Dan? Anything else we need to talk about? I mean, we could briefly mention the big news was the Brazil-Argentina game, wasn't it? That got postponed.
That postponed, due to COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing for me was obviously yesterday. 20 years. I know it's not football related, but 20 years since those tragic scenes that we saw in New York.
Yeah.
20 years ago, September 11th. It's mad to think it was 20 years ago, and I don't know about you, but I remember exactly where I was.
I do. I remember exactly
I remember
where I was.
I was in school myself. Couple of years until I left school, but I remember coming home. Normal routine was to put the telly on. Normally it was sport related, but to see that every single channel had been taken over by the breaking news that happened in New York. But yeah, so just to remember that really. 20 years on for that.
We definitely both want to send our best regards to the awful times.
Just to New York in general, really.
Yeah, to New York, the city.
Just to New York in general for that. And then to turn it, something special. And again, I know it's not sport related, but I just want to remember these sort of moments.
You're going to talk about the US Open?
I do indeed.
Yeah.
I took the time out last night. Very, very, and in New York as well. So not only was it a Memorial Day yesterday, but what a fantastic achievement yesterday for Emma Raducanu, who won the US Open aged 18. It was a fantastic final if you didn't get a chance to see it. But yeah, from me, just wanted to bring those two bits.
I must be honest, I don't really follow tennis like I used to in years gone by, but what a standout headline for a British female tennis player. I think that was the first
44 years
title since 77, was it?
Yeah, Virginia was the last person to win it.
Wow.
For Britain.
18-year-old as well. Fair play to her.
Both of them, I've got to say, both of the finalists have got such a bright future ahead. But yeah, I just wanted to bring those bits up because it was quite a big thing in everyone's lives really over the last 20 years. And to think that those two finalists, they weren't even born when that happened 20 years ago neither. So
it's all in perspective.
Just put all in there. But other than that, from me, guys, I'm really happy that the domestic football scene's back. But I will see you and speak to you next week.
I'll just do a quick wrap up. So thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for all the views and for the channel itself. Like I said before at the start of the programme, if you want to catch us on Facebook, we're facebook.com/all things football podcast. If you want to catch us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/ATF on Anchor. We obviously want to hear your views and comments for your clubs, so get in touch. And down the line, me and Dan have mentioned we would want to actually talk to people on the podcast as well. We'll get that sorted somewhere down the line as well. And from me, it's goodbye as well. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.